Hey there, this is Sarah Elgatian. I am the marketing coordinator for the Midwest Writing Center, and I am here to resurrect and maybe co-opt the Write More Light series. So welcome back. We took a hiatus from Write More Light during the Young Emerging Writers internship, and because that took up most of our time and energy, and we wanted it to. That internship is a treasure as someone who has both worked it and been an intern. Would not I would not change a thing about that. I want that to be how I spend my time when the internship is happening. And well, more on that in a moment. So first, I'm going to give you a little intro to what Write More Light is, in case you missed it when we started in March. It's the Midwest Writing Center's answer to our lack of ability to get together as writers in public or in person, and also something that honestly we really should be doing as writers anyway. We want to be able to offer resources and instruction to our community. That's what the Midwest Writing Center is all about. We want to foster an appreciation for the written word, both as readers and as writers. We know that writers, when we, and artists, when we can share our art, when we can be around other artists, we make more art and we make better art. And I think we tend to be more inspired to do our work. So stuff like this is super important, and it's been really great to see since COVID how many other writing organizations are sharing their resources online. That's so important and so beautiful. Traditionally, when Ryan was the man behind the camera, or in front of the camera, we opened with a little hello introduction, went to a writing prompt, and then moved on to sharing resources and sharing pieces of writing that were relevant to our topic of the day, and then open up for Q&A and discussion. We're maybe not going to follow quite a strict schedule while I'm running the show. We're gonna have guests occasionally, do a little bit of talking with. This is where the young emerging writers come in. We're gonna talk to some former interns, see what they're up to. We've got a few who are running magazines. We have a few who are in filmmaking. And it's important, I think, to see how artists exist, in their dual lives of artist and I think it'll be really cool to see, other than me, what other interns are up to. We're going to also have guest writers on occasionally. It's not going to be an every time thing. Sometimes it'll just be me or Ryan talking at you. But, we also, if you want to participate, we want you to participate in the comments or on screen. It's more fun, often more productive if there's more than one voice saying things. I don't know everything, and I can only think of the things I've thought of. So more voices, more impact, more input is better. Okay, so first, before I get down to my other hopes and dreams for the Write More Light series, let's do that. Free write. I'm gonna go ahead and post in the comments the Bernadette Meyer experiments. Ryan has talked about it a lot. We've used it a lot as instructors. It's a list from Bernadette Meyer on the University of Pennsylvania website, and it's just a list of writing prompts. I'm going to give you a different one this time. We're going to give you 5 minutes on this timer, which I'll set up while I talk. I used to, when I was in college, have this, bad habit, silly habit of going to IHOP in the middle of the night all the time, alone. And I had long hoped to, and never did, so this is a little bit of me being accountable to myself. I had long hoped to write something about the people of IHOP, right? Not like the people of Walmart, but personality profile thing, and something, at least I'm not going to IHOP all the time anymore, and it's not midnight, and you're somewhere, I'm guessing not IHOP, watching this video. We're more or less in quarantine. We're spending more time at home anyway, and so I suggest you do this: the personalities of IHOP, but in your home or wherever you are right now. So what I'm going to be doing for my 5 minutes is writing a personality profile of the things that are around me. We're going to take this sword, which I can just see behind my head, and it's going to get a couple of paragraphs of its own narration, and then my glasses case. My glasses are not Columbia brand. My coffee pot, which I can see from here. And I just got a brand new dishwasher, so that'll be my last one. I encourage you to do the same, or whatever feels right to you. If you don't want to write the personalities of inanimate objects in your room, that's totally fine. But I thought it was sort of a weird experiment to give personalities to these objects that we interact with every day. I'm sure that if this was my old dishwasher, I would be like, well, that thing doesn't work and it leaks, and so what kind of curmudgeonly creature would that be? That's where this came from. 5 minutes on the clock. Let's go. We've got 1 minute left. That was not a friendly noise. My apologies for anyone who is as startled as I was by that sound. Okay. I struggled with the sword. I started trying to do this old timey voice that I don't have any familiarity with, and moved on to my coffee pot, which is a sad old man, as it turns out. I've had this coffee pot for several years, for 3 years, and recently moved into a house that has real bad water. We use a separate filter, and my coffee pot has apparently grown ill from all the rusty water. Now I feel bad for him. Okay. So I hope that you don't feel bad for the inanimate objects in your home. But I also hope that you enjoyed that exercise. I need to get out of my comfort zone with my writing prompts. I think I have a very specific style and or comfort zone of how I write, so I really appreciate doing writing prompts. I usually don't do them of my own accord, so this is especially helpful for me. I have to do it because I'm asking you to do it. And yeah, that really helped me to find a new voice and a new angle for writing, which is, it's uncomfortable, but I think that is how we get better. I hope that it was both uncomfortable and fun for you. Okay, so I talked a little bit about how Write More Light is going to function in the future. Like I said, I'm really excited to have some guests on, and I hope that you'll suggest guests. I hope that you'll consider being a guest, but we're also going to not always have guests. Like today, no guests, except for my kitties. I will also talk about what I'm reading, what I want to read, I'll recommend reading, and talk about comfort zone reading. Maybe not every time I want to talk about that, but I know that we tend to, as readers and as writers, have a preferred genre or vein inside a genre. I personally, mine has changed over time. I used to be a hard fiction person, and now I'm, in this vein of adult fiction and essays, and the essays are always very literary essays. And so something that I've been trying since quarantine is to read outside of my comfort zone, which is harder than writing outside of my comfort zone because reading so often is about leisure and entertainment. But if I want to expand my abilities as a writer, expand my abilities as a reader, and expand, my knowledge on things, it's important to expand what I'm reading. I don't watch a ton of TV. When I do, it's always comedy. It's as mindless as I can manage. So reading is really where I get all of my entertainment, all of my information, generally. Um, so in doing that, I've been reading a lot of more different topics with the fiction and more straightforward nonfiction, less literary. Currently, I am absolutely not doing what I just said. I'm reading Belabored by our darling, our MWC darling, Liz Lenz. It is fantastic. Having recently read Angela Davis's Women, Race, and Class, it is a fantastic companion. I also historically have not read a ton of poetry. I'll like keep a poetry book on me and read a poem at a time if I'm like in a waiting room or something. But I've been focused a lot more on poetry since quarantine. Currently reading also a Midwest Writing Center darling, Marcus Wicker. He visited a couple years ago, maybe 1 year ago. Did an amazing, amazing reading. He's an amazing, amazing writer, so shocking no one. Something that I'll talk about in the future at these Write More Lights is how to make reading goals and reading as a reader versus reading as a writer. I think those are totally different things. When I don't have it near me, I also read a lot of YA. Sometimes I do that to like jumpstart my ability to read if I've been having a dry spell, because it's often easier to read. But I also write YA, and I'm very passionate about YA as a genre. I don't think it's a genre. Because if you look into the history of it, I've done research on this, took classes on it, but if you look into YA, the difference between YA and what we call adult fiction is the age of the protagonist. Every once in a while, if it's a really quality book, it will be put into regular fiction, like To Kill a Mockingbird. We don't put in the children's section, but Scout is like 10-ish. Same with Catcher in the Rye. Yeah. So reading as a reader is how I usually read YA. But more recently, as I'm working on longer form YA writing myself, I have definitely been starting to take notes in the margins. That's something when I'm reading as a writer that I do all the time. But it's totally different if it's something that you have traditionally read for entertainment, a genre that you've traditionally read for entertainment, and then you want to learn how to emulate or how to fit in, how to get better. You know, you're looking for different things. And it's really hard to do that simultaneously. Because being a scholar and being a person consuming entertainment, being a scholar, being a creator, and studying a thing that you may ordinarily take as entertainment, it's hard to reconcile that. It's something that we'll get into at a future Write More Light. I think I've already said this, but what we're really hoping for with these is to help you, supplement a little bit your education in the arts. I'm, by no means the be-all, end-all expert on writing, but I know that when I do consume videos like this, that's my intention. I want to come out inspired. I want to come out educated. I need to get something out of this. So we want to help supplement that need for you. We want to take your requests, things that you want to talk about or hear people talk about, even if you've got like, I want to hear from someone who runs a for-profit literary magazine, and I want to hear how they do that, and also like how they balance that with being a creator of art. Or you want to hear about, someone who is, writing nonfiction on whatever their career is. So it's less about, writing for creative purposes and more about writing to educate or inform. you know, we want to know what you want so that we can give it to you. So if you have requests, go ahead and send them, put them in the comments. Message us. My email address is, well, it's been in the post. I'm going to put it here in the comments. It's my name, sarah.elgatian@mwcqc.org. I know that my name is pretty hard to spell, so it's in the comments now. Let us know what your requests are, or if you have any questions. We want to share the good literature with you. We want to share good advice with you. We want to share our voices with you. I'm sorry. We want to share resources with you, and advice. You know, I'm, like I said, I'm not the be all end all expert, but we have access to a lot of experts who have a lot of different points of view and have a lot of things to share. So there's a million different resources for getting advice, or for fulfilling your requests. And we want to know your topics of interest. You know, Ryan is our in-house poetry guy. I see myself more knowing about, like I already mentioned, essays and YA. But obviously, you know, we've had, like I said before, we've had Liz Lenz to our conference several times. She's definitely an essay expert, right? That's what she teaches on, or has for us traditionally. So, like, we can find people, or we can steal their resources because they've taught us. And you know, most importantly, we want to reach as many people as we can, and we want to reach them as best we can. If we're we want to serve you, and we want to serve you better. So please let us know what you're looking for, what you need. That's always going to be the most important. So I said that I would do a little bit of sharing. I have not totally figured out screen share on Facebook Live. It's an option, and I didn't figure out how to use it. I have traditionally been doing this on Zoom. So I am going to share with you something behind me, an old school analog. Forgive me for that little hiatus, because I keep talking about essays and prose, and Ryan has traditionally done a lot of poetry. I'm going to pull out some prose. I will try maybe to limit how much I talk about Hanif Abdurraqib, and I'm only going to read to you just a teeny little excerpt on something that's pretty important to me. There is a little tiny essay in here called, well, the subtitle of it is "None of us are doing our best, are making our best art when we're doing poorly." Brief notes on staying. No one is making their best work when they want to die. I think that we have, as people, we often sort of romanticize artists who are not doing well mentally. So I thought that this essay in particular speaks to sort of a toxic artist mindset, and I'd like to recommend it to you. It's in this book, They Can't Kill Us Until They Kill Us. On page 76 it starts. It goes to page 78. So as far as essays go, it's very short. Also, the title takes up almost a whole page. I'm just going to read to you what I have bracketed and underlined. So these are just real short excerpts. Here we go. This is the bottom of page 77 if you're looking specifically for the pull quotes that I have here. I'm less drawn to the artist who at least appears to make it look easy, but our best work is the work of ourselves, our bodies, and the people who want us to keep pushing, even if the days are long and miserable, even if those are moments when the wrong side of the bridge beckons you close. All things do not pass. Sometimes that which does not kill you sits heavy over you until all of the things that did not kill you turn into a single counterforce that might. No matter what comes out of a person in these times, the work that we make when we feel like we no longer want to be alive is not the best work if it is also not work that little by little is pushing us back toward perhaps staying, even if for just one moment. What I'm mostly saying, friends, is that I've lost too much, and everything sounds good when you know it was the last thing a person would ever make. All of the words sit more perfect on the page when they are the last words. What I'm mostly saying, friends, is that I'm sad today. I am sad today, and I may be sad tomorrow, but I watched a video where rappers hung out of the roof of a car and threw money in slow motion, and it made me briefly consider another type of freedom. I am sad today, but I held in my hands a picture of me on a day where I was not sad. In it, the sunlight leaked over my face in a city I love, and my eyes were wide and eager. I am sad today, and I might be sad tomorrow and even the day after, but I will be here looking for a way out every time. Staying is not always a choice, and I have lived and lost enough to know that. But the way I think about grief is that it is the great tug of war, and sometimes the flag is on the side you don't want it to be on, and sometimes the game has exhausted all of its joy, and all that's left is you on your knees. But today, even though I am sad, my hands are still on the rope. I am making my best work when my hands are on the rope, even if I'm not pulling back. Life is too long, despite the cliche. Too long and sometimes too painful, but I imagine I have made it too far. I imagine somewhere around the corner, the best part is still coming. So that's my little reading for you today. I will be back here on Thursday, 1 o'clock, with, I'll announce in advance what the topic of the day is going to be. This Write More Light session today was really meant to be like a reintroduction to what Write More Light is. Again, please reach out. Let us know what you're into, what you're hoping for, what you want to get out of your community writing resources. I wish you all the best, and I hope that we can all write more light into our lives. Thank you for coming.